What's up again, YouTube? Quadzilla here. And I had a little dilemma. I was working on the YXZ, and whenever I do ride in areas like Hatfield, McCoy, I like carrying spare fuel. I've said before that on my video on my Razor 800, I carry a small fuel can just because the ATVs may run out of fuel or what have you. Not necessarily side-by-side running out of fuel because, let's face it, they carry a lot of fuel, but sometimes we have larger groups that go with us, so I always do like carrying spare fuel. And I was trying to figure out how to get it to mount because the YXZ does not have a good spot to mount a fuel can. Well, I went through Vevor first, not sponsored, and they had a special on 2.6 gallon fuel cans for 30 bucks. They're same price as a small can. So I went ahead and ordered one. And I figured when I built a spare tire carrier, I was just going to mount it right over top the spare tire. Well, I ended up finding that GYTR new old stock, and it was way cheaper than I was going to ever be able to build one. So I got it, but it has the big Y handle, as you'll see in a minute, that cranks the tire down. And I was like, well, that ain't going to work. I can't put a can in the middle of that. So, long story short, I ended up buying a second can and coming up with a mount. So this is what I ended up doing. I ordered another can, which I ended up getting it off Amazon. There's a very, I don't even think they're different in reality because the keys match up and everything to the same. But you can see the handle I'm talking about right in the middle. You couldn't put anything over that. And I thought about taking a bolt and just putting a plate on it, but then that would still allow that thing to swing. So here's what I did. I ended up getting these cans, and I got, I believe it's 3-inch by 1/4-inch plate. Spin one of these off real quick so you can see it. So here's what I did. So I was able to take that plate and I put it in a vise and I just heated it up with a torch as I made the bend. So I did a bend here, and the kit I got from Amazon ended up having this little rubber patch with it. Otherwise I was going to find rubber to put under there, but luckily it had that. So now I can crank this down. You got the rubber between it and this aluminum to keep it from rubbing. I did a second bend up here. And then when I went to the side, this bottom piece actually goes out to this edge. But it was a 4-foot stick, so I had this left over, the 12-inch on each side. So it's 2 foot on this middle piece, 1 foot here, 1 foot here. I was able to weld that to this, and I was able to put the 2 bolts down through the center. Now, if you look at the side, you can see it's close to the tread, and it's dangling off over here a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I went to Walmart and got some of this 1/2-inch weather strip. So I'm going to run some of that underneath on this seam to try and just keep it from vibrating and bouncing. And you can see the distance here that the can will actually stay up. You can see it here on the second one, how it's off the metal. So I'm going to double up strips here, one on top of the other, so it stands up taller than this. So as that can's tightened, it'll squeeze to this to keep it from bouncing. And then you'll have the other piece underneath there. But like I said, this will work with the GYTR, which I think it's UTV.com sells them now. I don't even think Yamaha sells them anymore. But it's the same exact thing, same design. That's probably who made them for Yamaha for the Swingway tire carrier. But then you'll have your fuel cans. They'll be mounted up higher. And say you're going on a ride, you don't want to take them. Excuse me. I can take both these cans off, spin this off. It'll lift right off. I put this handle back in place. I can ride without the fuel cans. But then if I go on a longer ride, bigger ride, ATVs are going with, I want the fuel cans. I can attach that right to it, and I'm good to go. Again, I ended up just 3-inch. I found the angle I liked. I put it in a vise, heated it up with a torch, did that slight bend, came back down, found the height I needed for here. I ended up just laying a level across here and putting a mark on the metal where I needed it. Put it in the vise, heated it up with the torch. Got it nice glowing red, just with a little bit of pressure to push it over to get to the angle I wanted. Welded here on the back side here and back side up here. This side I didn't weld because it was on the edge. But I just thought I'd give that idea out there. It looked like it turned out pretty good, and hopefully give some people some ideas. Alrighty, Quadzilla out. All right, I guess I'm not out, but I'm just going to show you. So I was able to spin this off. If you look under here now, I got that layer of foam underneath there. That'll help protect my tire, keep this from bouncing. I got these 2 strips up here. We'll peel this off and I'll put a can on here so you can see. So now, once that's cranked down, it'll have that foam right up against to try and keep vibration to a minimum. Now, all right, I guess my sign off. Stay safe, ride hard, Quadzilla out.